Alright guys, so this video is brought to you by Rusnock Sports Performance and Fitness, Big Frog Custom T-shirts, and Jackpot Buy Sell Trade. Jayhawk TV starts now. Alright guys, so our first sponsor that has been with us all year, Big Frog Custom T-shirts. They supply the Player of the Week shirts for the Jayhawks who you see on Jayhawk TV. I'm sure if you go in and mention my name or Jayhawk TV, they'll hook you up. Alright guys, so we're here with Jayhawk TV's Player of the Week, Noah Sunder. How are you today?
Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. How was practice today?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, a little cold out there now.
Yeah.
Do you like the cold or would you rather it warm when you're playing football?
Probably cold.
You're really?
Yeah.
So last week you had a sack, and these last couple weeks you've been gaining tackles and tackles for losses, and you're only a freshman. So how does it feel to be worked into this defense the way you have been?
I mean, it feels pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot more playing time than usual because last year there was we had Westmoreland Saints. I couldn't play that much because of the weight limit, and the weight limit was not really good, so I couldn't play tight end or DN. Yeah. So I had to play on the line. It was a lot more tricky to get through.
Yes, and I mean the weight limit's because you're also really tall. How tall are you now?
6'1.5".
And still growing, right? So this week we're traveling to Clareton to take on the Bears. Of course, everybody knows that the Bears are a big rival. What are you going to do to prepare yourself for the Bears?
I mean, I'm just going to play my hardest, try and get through the line. I mean, their line's tough. Yeah. And their whole team is tough, so we just got to fight through it and try to win the game.
Anything in particular you're doing different this week?
Well, I'm not playing D, I'm playing linebacker, so I get to can see the whole backfield. Yeah. So it will probably be easier for me to make tackles.
That'll be good. We see what you're doing on the field. Off the field, what do you like to do?
Off the field, I like to play with my friends, play football, work out. Most of the time get stronger for the next game coming up.
Hoop season's coming up too soon, huh? Are you excited for that?
Yeah.
This is going to be your first high school game, but I hear you're pretty good. But hoop season's coming up. You like to play football. When did the football start to be a pastime for you?
I really do not know.
So has it always been have you always played football?
This is my second year playing, but I played flag for 3 or 4 years.
Okay, so you were familiar with the game when you got in. All right, guys. So Rusnock Sports Performance and Fitness, another proud Jayhawk sponsor. They've helped the boys maintain their physical fitness off the field, and they're helping them perform on the field. I'm sure if you go see my guy Christian and tell him you saw this ad here on Jayhawk TV, he'll hook you up too. All right, so we're back with Noah Sunder. Noah, going into Bear Week, you got a win for the seniors last week, and then you get into the playoffs. What's the future hold for this Jayhawk team?
Future hold. Man, that's tricky.
Do you see more wins coming?
Yeah, I see a lot more wins improvement from this year because we're gonna have Elijah Jones and Isaiah Jones coming up next year for football. Yeah, and that's gonna be a huge help for us. Yeah, and then we're gonna have some of the players still stay from this year. Yeah, that'll be great. Gonna be a really good.
It's gonna be one big family, huh? Always is with Jayhawks. All right, Noah. Well, thank you so much. As soon as we get off air, I'm gonna give you your shirt from Big Frog Custom T-shirts and from both of our sponsors.
All right, thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right, guys, so Jackpot Buy Sell Trade located on Clay Avenue in Jeanette. If you go in and see my guy Joe, he has everything you'll need, and he buys stuff for more. So make sure you go see my guy Joe because he's a proud sponsor of Jayhawk TV. All right, guys, so we are here with Coach Darius Fatman Brown. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Pretty good. So I got to ask, where did the Fatman name come from?
Well, it was given to me as a young kid by my aunt.
Yeah.
And it just stuck. And everybody asks me all the time, like, was you fat as a baby? I'm like, nah, it's just one of those nicknames that you get and it never goes away.
Yes, yes. So explain how you became a coach. I mean, I know you were helping out with the midgets. I believe you still do.
Yep.
Yeah, but how did you transition from, midgets to high school?
Well, I started down there with Coach Joe, one of the greatest guys I ever met in my life. He gave me an opportunity as a young man. I just asked him to come down and help, and he was willing to do that. And ever since then, it was just like, well, you get to go coach your son, you get to go coach your nephew, you get to go coach the rest of the guys. And I was just like, all right, cool. So now they got me intertwined with basketball, football. I'm like, all right, guys.
Well, when you were in high school, you were doing all that too.
Yeah, it seems a little bit different now that I'm a coach. It seems like it's a lot more work.
I mean, not too long ago, you were ripping tackles to score 4 or 5 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever ago, though. I tell these guys all the time, man, I was just out there in your shoes. I know exactly what you've been going through, so don't come to me. You don't know school. You got to do schoolwork, come to football, do all that good stuff.
Yeah. We talked to Kamani earlier this on Jayhawk TV. What's it like, coaching your nephew?
Well, we've been doing this for a while now, so it's like we know each other more than anybody else could possibly know each other. And as you see, every time I talk about that young man, I just glow to ear because I love that little dude. He's a one special young man. And we got a little weird dynamic, but when we come home, it's usually football's off the table. We usually back to being a fan.
He's really developing as a player as the season goes on. What do you think the future holds for him?
Well, as long as he hits this weight room, I think the sky's the limit.
Yes.
As soon as we get him from looking like he's 115 to start looking like he's about 190, we'll be all right.
Yeah, just a little on the small side. But of course, he's a freshman. He got freshman growing pains to do.
The only thing I'd say about him is that kid loves to work. Every time we go to the beach, he's gonna go fast. You want to go 6 a.m.? I'm like, let's go, man. Let's go.
We were talking to him. He lives by Subway and runs to the high school.
Yes, he does.
I don't think I could run down the block without getting tired.
I know that's it, man. But that's if you want to be great. That's the things that you do.
I love the mindset that he has. Well, we had a lot of yelling back there. Can you explain what drill was going on?
Well, we was giving our dudes a little blocking drill. We wanted to test your strength. Coach Hall does that same drill a long time ago. He used to call it spirit drill. So we just intertwined that with our group, and we want to give a little energy to practice, and that's what that does. Yeah.
So we heard that was successfully doing that.
Yeah.
So we always see you very animated on the sidelines. Does that mirror how you were as a player? Or do you think you're more animated as a coach?
I think it mirrors probably what I am. As most people that talk to me, they know, like, man, you a little quiet dude, but when you come on that field, it's like you're a whole different dude. I say it's just a switch that happens. I don't know what to tell anybody, and I can't change that.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
Exactly. So this week, Bear Week, you've been a part of a lot of good rivals, and how do you prepare these guys, especially like the freshmen that are coming on, to get ready for a rival game like this?
Yes, most of these guys don't know what it takes to play against Clarendon because they've never done it before. But for the guys that do, they know that you got to step up. Your practice has got to be harder. You got to be more intensified. Film session has to be better. And most of these dudes answer that call. We've been challenging these dudes every week, and they know Clarendon has a reputation that Jeanette has. So we know when we go play them, we're actually going to go play football players. So,
yes.
And that's what we're trying to relay the message to them.
Yeah, and now, so far this season, of course, the wins haven't been adding up where we'd like them to be. But you just beat Springdale. You get a surefire shot into the playoffs. What do you think is going on as the season as a whole? Like, what are some strong points you've noticed?
Well, I love the amount of kids that we started out with. Some of them dwindled down, whether it's due to certain academics sometimes, or they're hurt, some things like that. But I love that our core group that we have is pushing and motivating the younger guys, getting them better, and we're just trying to get a culture, and that's what most of these guys are. Most of these guys know that they're the reason that's going to change it back to becoming Jeanette football players.
Yes, they got to protect their tradition.
They got to protect their tradition.
So as a whole, you know, the Jayhawks have been playing very well given the circumstances, and you know, we could quote this a rebuilding year if you would like, but I really don't like using. We don't really like using that word.
Like that.
Yeah. But
like a reload.
There you go. All right, I like that one a little bit more. Do you have any players that stood out to you that have really developed this season?
Yeah, we got a bunch of younger guys, a bunch of older guys, to be honest. Michael Mason, he's always one that I lean on. Peyton, those are the two dudes that I lean on the most on defense. But our younger guys on the defensive line who's been stepping up, Wyatt Schaefer, he's going to be a good guy when he becomes a little bit more older, gets physical. And through the secondary, we got some younger guys. Jarrell, hopefully, when he gets to learn how to play football a little bit better. I know he's a soccer guy, but he's one of our most physical kids. It's a weird dynamic with that kid.
It worked with Trey, right?
Yes, it does. And I'm glad that he came back and played for us, because that kid has gotten a lot better too.
Yes, we just had him on last week. I love his energy too.
Yeah.
And you know, coming from a small school, you've been through it. I've been through it. It means a lot to these kids to, you know, have somewhere to come to play a game and actually matter. How do you know, you're a coach, but you're also kind of like a father figure here. How does that feel for you?
I mean, to be honest, it's like, this is what you signed up for.
Yeah.
It's like, I knew taking this job that some of these dudes don't have two parents, or they only have one parent, and some of these dudes look for you to be a role model and to give them rides when they need it. They need to go get something to eat. Some of these guys know, like, they can hop in my car, they don't even have to ask. I go drop them off, go get them something to eat. That's just what comes with this story for me.
You know, it's great to see the Jeanette football have great mentors like you, and you know, Coach Pallone too. Now you guys played together, and then you played versus each other in college. So when Waynesburg played St. Vincent, was that a little bit of a heated rivalry there?
I mean, those guys are well programmed, and we were trying to come and fight with those guys and compete all the time. Tom knows, I always joke about him. I was like, every time we played y'all know y'all threw me an interception one of those games, right? He was like, I kept telling him not to throw. I said, well. But Tom's my guy. He's been my guy for a long time. I respect that dude, and me and him, we just click so well, and I think we got a good chemistry together.
I do too. I'm liking how everything's coming together. You know, just to sum up, we're going, like we said, into Bear Week, and then we have playoffs. What do you want Jayhawk Nation, or Jayhawk TV Nation for that matter, to know about this team and what the future holds? So just a word of advice.
Just real short, like we plan on just being back to Jeanette football. We have a slogan, talk about protect the tradition, and that's one thing that we really lean on. And most of these kids know what the tradition is. They see 700 and something wins, mostly in the Whitfield.
Not to mention all these.
They see Whitfield championships all the way back from 32. They see a couple state championships. They missing one over there too, though. So they know what goes on here when you go. When you go, and that's Lonnie Green and Jesse. So.
I believe when we were interviewing them, we heard the reverse.
So they getting it back on me. But those two are my guys, man.
All right, Coach Fats, thanks for your time.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, that does it for this week's episode of Jayhawk TV. Hopefully next week when we talk, we'll be celebrating another win. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock at Clareton Stadium. And don't forget, protect the tradition.